Well, that's enough awkward romantic tension. It's time to do some gameplay. No, no, it's not. It's time for more cutscenes. Act 3, Third Son. I mean, yeah. Hey, that's a bit of a foreshadowing spoiler? Well, you'll see. I remember this establishing shot being really cool too when this game came out, because it just looks so different from anything we'd seen prior in Metal Gear. And again, look, regular civilians. Just regular dudes. Metal Gear prior to this game was always a very, I'll say, thrifty with its assets. You would never see characters just appear like once or twice. Like, they really wanted to, especially, you know, with MGS2, where you could tell there were some constraints, because characters standing right next to each other would talk on the codec, even though they were standing right next to each other. So, like, seeing all these unique character models moving around that only get used for this scene, it was, you know, it was neat. It was like, whoa.
You've been added to the PMC's blacklist, so you're going to have to lie about your identity to get in.
Yeah, but where's Snake? We're just following this cool-looking guy.
Evade the checkpoints. Make contact with the resistance and find Big Mama.
Okay.
This is our last chance. We must reach Big Boss's body before they do.
No, there's a little Raven sound in the background because it's the Raven Sword PMC. Did you catch that? That's cute. Is 4 worse than 2 with pacing? Because at least 2 very quickly admits bring out the popcorn. It's comparable, but it's like...
Next.
4 is like if you played MGS2 and watched all the cutscenes 3 times in a row. That's how I would describe the pacing. It's comparable, but this game is a lot longer and a lot larger. So, the pacing feels worse, but it's kind of like...
Set next.
Oh. Hold on, tension's happening.
Get your ass in the machine.
With this weird,
You deaf?
cool-looking guy.
Take him away.
Oh! Wait a minute. A cigarette? Is that Snake? But he looks so young.
I said over here.
Oh! Now this is a tension I like. None of that Naomi Otacon shit. Oh yeah.
That's enough.
Oh.
I'll take him from here.
Hey Meryl.
But
We've been looking for this man.
I wanted to see him throw some dudes.
yes, ma'am.
Come with me.
Yeah, I would say the pacing of this game and 2 is comparable. I would say the gameplay
Next.
sections go on longer, but the cutscenes also go on longer. And the game in general is longer, so it's like their ratio probably evens out, but yeah, two I feel like gives up halfway through a lot of its cutscenes and just goes, all right, it's time for stock footage, it's time for the codex. This tries to...
Base camo.
Oh.
A little present from Tentacle.
Oh, that's why we look hot. Hey, look, here's this gif. Yep. 20 years ago was 40 years ago.
Know you well enough.
You may not believe it. I'm in charge of overseeing
Yeah, I
all
feel like
of
this
the
tries to have more of like a
Still
movie-like presence in its cutscenes and only resorts to PowerPoints. This fucking nerd.
Over
when they kind of have like no other choice, when they're like, oh god, we've done every type of shot and every type of camera angle and every cool, you know, cinematic trick we know, but the characters need to keep talking. Quick, make a PowerPoint. So it's like, yeah, it's like, well, do you prefer MGS2 kind of getting to the point with it and just going, all right, you're going to be looking at grainy footage for like chicken, that sign says chicken, for the next 10 minutes, or, you know, there's a narc cola. I would say I prefer this just because the cutscenes, even scenes like this, are so cool. Like visually, like it genuinely does feel like a movie scene. Look how awesome we look too. Look at that.
It's crazy. Look, things are.
But you know, it depends. But they're very comparable with the, oh god,
I don't take orders from you.
it's cutscene time. Strap in.
It's gonna be the Middle East all over again.
No, it won't. If things get out of hand, we can put a total.
I don't really like how Meryl handles things in this game early on.
We control the system.
Yeah, that whole
Too much on the system if I were you.
thing where she
Look, Snake.
really trusts this SOP system and is okay with it. I don't know. I always got the feeling from Meryl in MGS1 that she was a little more rebellious and kind of like wanted to really emulate Snake and do things her own way. So it's weird that she's so like,
I know.
I guess it's to show that she's grown, quote unquote, but
No, then
it's weird that she's like, no, Snake, we gotta legally take out Liquid using the amount of force and weapons that the government machine tells us we can. We can't just go in guns a-blazing and do something cool. And I'm like, Meryl, weren't you all about going in guns a-blazing and doing stuff cool in MGS1? And then you threw up because it was scary, but then, you know, I don't know. It's a little awkward. It's a little strange.
I can't bear to watch you die.
And even now she's saying, like, Snake, like, I look up to you. You're really cool. I don't know. I get that they're trying to show
Never die.
her growth, but I don't know if, I don't know if I agree with
Your cause is our
that
cause
growth,
now.
you know?
You don't have to do this.
Because
No
even...
hero.
Oh, here's this again.
Never was. I'm just an old killer.
You can tell it's
I had
sad
to do some wet
because the tiny little guitars and violins started coming in. I don't know. I feel like since Meryl is on the inside, you know, since she does have
Just have to catch him.
some of the system
Do.
on her side, I feel like she'd be trying to pull more strings for us.
I may
Because
have
that's kind of
loved you
what
once.
Campbell did, you know? And I know she doesn't like
Now you're
Campbell,
just too damn
but
senile to face the truth.
rude.
Wake up and face reality. Old Snake.
But come on, I look so hot now. Look how hot I look. Don't be mean to me.
Stay out of
Don't be
my
mean to hot people. Don't you know that, Meryl? You're pretty hot. You should know that. Orange, orange. Not just one orange. Yeah, anyway. She's, like, not really gonna help us, basically. She wants to take out Liquid legally, and we're like, yeah, but... Why do that when we could do some cool sneaking and have a cool video game? So, we're once again on our own. Look what's going on over there! Johnny was, like, tumbling? What was that? Alright. Look how cool this place looks. Look at the color grading. Look at the... Hey, Otacon.
Otacon, they've seen this face too.
Yeah, It might have been added to the PMC's blacklist as well.
And Meryl was acting kind of strange.
Things are going to get hairy once the American suppression troops get here. We'd better get to Big Boss's corpse, and fast. But first, we've got to find Big Mama. Snake, let's go over what we know so far. The streets are under curfew. The only people you'll find out there now are PMC soldiers and members of the Resistance.
All right.
Yeah, I thought it looked a little too quiet to be a tourist
So there's not going to be dudes shooting at each other the whole time. That's cool. Already, this act has a pretty big difference.
Follow their lead.
And there's our second difference. This is a stalking mission where we got to tail a
How
guy?
exactly am I supposed to find this resistance?
A lot of people don't like this Axe gameplay, but I think it's pretty cool.
They're using SOP to notify each other by radio of any info collected during their searches. By intercepting those signals, you should be able to reach the Resistance members' locations in real time.
Yep.
Intercept their communications. How do I do that?
I've provided you with a new device for just that purpose. To hijack PMC communications, open the item window and select the Signal Interceptor.
The Signal Interceptor, the SIGINT. Do you get it? Do you get it? We don't get it. We don't know who that is.
When you've got the Signal Interceptor equipped and you hear the PMC's chatter about the Resistance, check your map. It should display the location.
Got it.
Oh, and Snake, I think we've found a way to treat Raiden.
Hooray.
Yeah, we got in touch with Dr. Madnar.
Yeah, we know.
Naomi and Sonny are on their way now.
They'll be all right on their own.
They're a few clicks north.
We
of
brought
where
up
you are
Dr.
now.
Madnar, and I
It's a
didn't really
non-combat
react
zone,
to
so
his
there won't
name,
be any
even though I should
changes.
have.
There's even a dialysis.
Because I shot missiles at him, but
It'll
okay.
take some time, but I think he'll be okay.
Good.
Good. So
Anyway,
everything's taken
you
care
need
of.
to
We just
hurry
gotta
and
go
make
find
contact
Big
with
Mama.
I got it.
You know, Raiden's on his way to
Look who
getting
gets his
patched
hands on
up.
that corpse.
We gotta use our
It's
Signal
all
Interceptor, follow a
over.
man.
Follow the Resistance's lead.
Nothing will go wrong here. Hey, there's a loading screen. That's a little weird, even though we had like a transition into gameplay. That's fine. Look, we're right where we were. Check it out. We got the Signal Interceptor. Also, check it out. Would you believe that there's an unused codec call about Dr. Madnar?
Close. Dr. Madnar offered Sonny and Naomi his full support. He's going to lend them a dialysis machine. No charge.
Good to hear.
I hear you saved the doctor and his little girl back at Outer Heaven.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that.
He totally
Always
remembers
good to
that.
help others. That reminds me. Madnar wanted me to tell you. His daughter Ellen is married now. Kids, too. 3 of them. One more thing. He said to tell you he's sorry.
Yeah.
Follow that
All right. So yeah, just a weird little unused codec call about Dr. Madnar where Snake actually kind of remembers. Anyway, look at this. Look how we look. Check it out. Speaking of weird references to older games, oh, it rearranged all of my items. Give me one moment. We're not. There we go. Look! Look, do you get it? Look, do you get it? Do you get it? It's a Snatchers reference. I look like Gillian Seed, and I've got the Metal Gear Mark II. That's legitimately kind of cute. I do like it. Okay. So we want to, once again, go non-lethal here. So let's get this, and let's get... We'll get a regular smoke grenade. Oh, we have our Chaff G out. We don't want Chaff G. We want Stung. Okay. So, with our hands in our pockets like this disguise actually gives us the ability to sort of blend in a little bit, which is going to be very, very important. Oh, look how cool he looks. I love this stage so much. The environment looks so rad. The colors are so cool. It's such a vibe that no other Metal Gear game has. There's no area like this in any of the other games.
Taking a stroll after curfew? Something's up, Snake. Tail him.
Yep. Okay. So, one thing we do know that they did explain to us is our face has been added to the blacklist. So the PMC and even this guy will be a little suspicious of us. But if we change it to someone else, say Laughing Beauty...
What? You looking for a real man?
Yeah? Yep, he loves it. He's into pretty ladies with big, beefy man bodies. And that's a look. Of course, even though it would be easier, we're not going to do that the whole time. Cute little Easter egg. See, okay, we do have the drum can. Drum can's very useful here. So yeah, we got to stay behind him. Luckily, his vision works like all other guards. It's not like an annoying awareness meter like some games will have for this sort of thing. We can be right behind him, and as long as he doesn't see or hear us in the way a guard regularly would. Check it out. It's a raven. Then we'll be okay. Curfew's now in effect. Immediate execution. Now that's one of those times where Metal Gear gets a little... I don't know, that feels very Grand Theft Auto in its, like, satirical nature of just, like, if you are outside after curfew, the government will assassinate you. I don't know, it feels like a little... I'm just gonna make you fall asleep. It feels like a little on-the-nose satirical in a way that Metal Gear often isn't. And I actually kind of like it. I think it's kind of funny. Yep, so here's one thing you gotta be aware of, though. He gets a little skittish if he sees dudes who are asleep. As long as we... Whoops. There we go. As long as they're asleep before he gets to them, though, it's not so bad. He just kind of pauses for a little bit. But if he sees someone fall asleep, he'll get real scared, he'll loop around. Oh, it's a whole ordeal. It is a whole ordeal. So this is, again, just aesthetically, visually, one of my favorite places. You remember how much I love being in civilian areas in Metal Gear, and this place is truly massive. We got a lot of vehicles, we got a park here. We're not going to be seeing most of it through following him. I'll get into why that is. For now, let's just track him, and if there's anything funny we can do, then we'll do it. And if not, well, good, because things can get a little hairy here. There he is. Yep. And we can stand here, and once again, we can do a little pose.
Who was that?
Nope, no one. Just doing a pose. I might have to,
Could be my imagination.
Yep, could be your imagination. Hey. Oh, look! Check it out. He's also a pee-pee man. Man, you are splashing that all over. Come on. Yeah. Well, at least he didn't get it on our coat. Let's just take off that octo camo. Hey.
Who's there? What's going on?
Don't worry about it. Don't you worry about it. Yep. There's our guy. He's hiding. Good for him. We'll keep an eye on him. The pee-pee poo-poo man. Yep. There's a couple pee-pee mans. Only one poo-poo man we've met so far, but he's a pretty significant poo-poo man. He's only poo-pooed once. Okay. Gotta be careful of that barrel there. That's an exploding barrel. Yep. Oh no! They're asleep. How does everyone keep being asleep when I'm walking by them? Oh well. Nothing to worry about. He takes some pretty annoying paths, as you can see. Alright. Going down here. And I think he's pretty safe around this bend. So I think it's interesting that it took until Metal Gear Solid 4 to do a mission like this, because other stealth games, other tactical boy games, were doing missions like this pretty much since... Oh! We found the Kerotan. He's on the phone booth this time. Yeah, other stealth games were doing things like this for years. So it's kind of funny that this is the first time Metal Gear really did this in this way. Like, yeah, you could stalk people and follow behind them in prior games, and that's how I got the Rykov disguise in MGS3, was I chose to stalk him into the locker room. But it's weird that it took so long and that they did it at all. And we're going to see them do another tailing mission in a future game. And people criticize this one for being a little frustrating and, you know, a lot of work to get it to, you know, you can't just run to the end like you can in a lot of sections. You actually do have to follow this guy, and if you want to do it optimally, you have to know what guards to leave, what guards to take out. Like, it's a lot. It's actually a very involved sequence. Would you believe that the future tailing mission in a future game we're going to do is actually way worse than this? Because it can literally just break and render itself almost incompletable. Oh boy. Anyway, look! This is definitely a loading zone, right? Yep. Sweet! We completed one loading zone. Not so bad so far. Ah. Just faintly hear a helicopter. So that might be a bit of an ordeal. Yeah, it's not so bad if you know, make use of your tools. Actually use the solid eye. You know, don't just go guns a-blazing, which I think is what a lot of people wanted to do, is just shoot everyone and hope it worked out. But no, you can't do that. So you can probably guess that that large...
Searchlight.
Yep.
Find something nearby to hide behind. Stay
Large
on the
blip
left.
on our radar is indeed one of the space helicopters that we've seen prior. Kind of acting like a searchlight here, which is cool. Also, check out that architecture. Really nice. But again, it's not a big deal. You just gotta use, I don't know, a little bit of restraint and not want to blow everyone away. Yep. It's fine. See? Easy breezy. Now, this is a little funny sequence. Oh no! He kicked that bucket over. Yeah. I believe you can actually go ahead and, whoops, actually shoot that bucket over before he gets a chance to. And he won't trip over it. There's some weird way you can get past this without that happening. He'll be fine, though. He'll catch up with us. Yep. There he is. Oh, is he going to take the upper stairs this time? Nope. Yeah, looking at those dudes. They're sleeping. Let's mosey on by. This game does a lot of different objectives, and again, some of them I like, some of them I don't like. I genuinely prefer this to there being 2 full chapters of active combat. A lot of people like those active combat zones, and they think that, you know, this point forward in the game is where it gets bad. I kind of think this point forward is where it gets good. I think this point forward is where things kind of get more interesting, because it's stuff that I think works a little bit better than the active combat. And I don't know, it's just unique. Granted, there's still going to be some things that I don't love going forward, but this part's neat. I think it's a good change of pace from what's been going on. It's nice that there's not explosions and all sorts of stuff happening. Oh, and check this out. Look. He goes in there. Okay. He's not moving. Let's get a little closer. Watch him on the dot. He's whistling. Wait. That's a Raven Sword guy. But he's whistling, and his uniform... His uniform is ill-fitting, and look, he's the Resistance guy. Now he's in a disguise. So here's the really cool...
There's something fishy
Yep.
about that PMC trooper. Do you hear whistling?
I do. So here's the really cool thing about this. Now that he's in disguise, it actually works. He can't mess things up. They don't care. So he's safe now. And he's actually safe to make his way to the end of this. We don't even have to follow him anymore. And to make things even better, what happens if I get confused, me the player, I don't know what's going on, and I'm like, wait, I didn't have my solid eye equipped. I'm such a big dummy. I lost the guy. Now I have to go all the way back to the thing, and I gotta go find him again. But oh my goodness, I go all around, ba-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da. I can't find him. Let me go back to this area. Hey, look! There he goes back in there. Put it on normal mode. And look! He restarts, so he's now locked in here. He will never get himself captured. He'll never get himself killed. He'll never get himself spotted. That is a hard checkpoint. That is an actual real hard checkpoint, which is good for us because it's a checkpoint without being a point of no return. That means we can go back and we can cause all sorts of fun problems.